Deonjala Williams is the creative owner behind the screen printing brand D's Sweet Teas. The Palm Beach Beat sat down with Williams to better understand the woman and the mission behind the brand.
My name is Deonjala Williams. I am a left-handed, right-brained creative local. I'm 30 years old. I'm straight out of born and raised in West Palm Beach, Florida. I went to Suncoast High School where I got my IB degree. I went on to graduate with my business administration bachelor's degree from Florida A&M University. And then a few years later I got my master's degree from Full Sail University. I dibble and dabble in a little bit of comedy for my family and friend events, so it has to be clean. And I just really like to express myself creatively. Believe it or not, I never planned to get into t-shirt printing. I was so busy working on the graphic design part of the industry, but I was doing a lot of t-shirt designs for several churches, and I got a little curious about the process. So I looked it up, and it was a lot that went into it. So I'm like, absolutely not, I want no parts of this. So that was like around the end of 2012 that I started researching screen printing. As God would have it, though, this is obviously what he wanted me to get into, because at the end of 2013, one of my most respected mentors, Mr. Carl Bryant, he gave me a brand new UDO machine, which is like an easy bake oven for screen printers. So it was brand new in the garage. His daughter never used it, so he gave it to me. So that's like something that's $200 and something that he gifted to me for free. And I got back into it. So I was looking at books, I was looking at YouTube videos, and I was playing with the UDO screen printing machine and really got into it. So after that, it was around the end of 2013 that I ended up investing in some equipment and getting started with it. So with all the doors God opened, I said, who am I to close them? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's been a journey ever since. I knew I was creative and artistic when I was 2 years old. I drew a picture. My mom still has it in a frame today, and a lot of people just couldn't believe that I drew the picture. It was my auntie showing out in church. And then my mom went and typed it underneath there. I knew that then. I was always into drawing, coloring, that type of thing. But the time that I really had to own my creativity is when I had to walk away from the MBA program at Florida A&M University. I loved business, the business classes. I did well in the classes, but the creativity that I wanted to express, they didn't have the outlets for it. I had the option of finance and accounting, and marketing was very limited in how far you can go in that. So whereas a lot of my friends were interested in working for the big accounting firms, I was looking more into doing graphic design, but I had gotten too far along that track in business that it was too late to turn back, or I didn't want to start back over again. So I just ended up getting my bachelor's degree in that instead of the master's in that, and then I ended up going to Full Sail University and getting my master's degree, where I was able to express more creativity with my business thesis, which was actually the business plan for D's Sweet Teas, and able to do graphic design for some of our class projects, and so forth and so forth. I actually have the first t-shirt I ever printed right here. This was a 3-color print that I did for the Martin Luther King 2014 parade in Riviera Beach. And instead of going with a simple 1-color design, I chose a 3-color design, and I created it on the computer, and then I printed it. I was so proud of it back in 2014, but now that I look at it now, I see so many flaws in the t-shirt. I see places where I've gone wrong, what I should have done differently, but it's still my favorite shirt because it's shown how much I've grown as a printer, how much I've learned from my mistakes since that time. Okay, well, screen printing became a niche because, okay, I design logos too, but it's something about having that tangible product to say that this went from conception to reality, and I can actually feel and give my creativity away to somebody Personally, that's why I love the screen printing, because I'm giving them something that I can touch and feel and say, wow, this is a part of me that I'm giving to them that may have been born by them, but two people came together and made one thing. So that's my personal reason for enjoying the screen printing industry. My secondary reason is, unlike most industries, screen printing is a dog feed dog industry, where if I go to you and you're a screen printer and I say, I'm not understanding this process, I'm having problems, my ink isn't curing properly, this did not register properly when I exposed this screen, instead of me giving you the cold shoulder and saying, you might take away some of my clients, it's a very hands-on teaching community of people. And the principle here is that there's more than enough t-shirts to be printed where everyone can eat. So why not come alongside you and help you? So it's a teaching community, and they're always giving back. I set myself apart by creating relationships with my customers. I'm asking, like, okay, for example, I did some practice shirts for a softball team, and the team mom came and she was the person that I dealt with. I listen for things. When she says her daughter's name, next time I see her, how is she doing? Just to be, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I like to have interpersonal connections with my clients. Also, we offer free artwork for the first order that you do. A lot of times I'm getting those right-handed, left-brain people who might not be able to draw a stick figure. So you can come to me and say, hey, this is the idea. Sometimes they come with a doodle on paper. Sometimes they just tell me what it is that they need. But either way, we do the free artwork. And now I've actually worked out my pricing tier to where I'm not charging screen fees anymore. So that's what sets us apart. Personality and relationships first, and then the free artwork, and then no more screen fees. First I'm gonna say, the adage out there, knowledge is power. And that's completely false. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential to be powerful, but unless you take a step and make an action, knowledge is nothing. What good does it do if I know everything about social media, but I do not put into action to do a post or a tweet of the products and services that I have? So get off the high horse that knowledge is power, because it's not. You have to act, and you have to be meaningfully acting in some sort of way every day. I would say if you're trying to do something, well, first I would say find out if that's exactly the thing you want to do. And that doesn't cost money all the time. Like I said, I volunteered with B&B Graphics to find out if that's something I actually wanted to do. I never printed a single t-shirt when I volunteered at the screen printing company over there. I pulled shirts off the conveyor dryer. I folded shirts. I cleaned ink off of screens, but at the whole time I was being a sponge and taking in everything I saw around me, what brands of ink they were using, what printing methods that they use, that type of thing, the shop setup. So first of all, you want to realize, is this the thing that I really want to do? Because sometimes you can have a passion for something, but then when you get behind the scenes and see what all it entails, it's not something that you want to do. Once you find out that that's what you want to do and you're not just blowing smoke, then you need to set small milestones for yourself. You can go to Sunbiz and set up a LLC or some type of business entity. Do your research to figure out which classification is best for you, but do that. It ranges anywhere from $65 to $125, which is practically nothing. After you do that, you want to research your suppliers. I don't know if this person who I'm talking to, if you want to provide services or you want to provide products, but do a little bit more research. And then most importantly, you need to model. Whoever is, do not be afraid of somebody out there doing it better than you, because there's always going to be somebody out there doing it better than you. And instead of being intimidated, be enlightened and take that into consideration and model that person, copy that person until you get just as good as they are, and then you have somebody modeling you. That's where I would say start from. What the things that you don't understand and the things that you don't know, ask and find somebody else to do it. Don't try to be doing everything for yourself. Once you get the leverage and the momentum of your business, don't try to do everything. You can only successfully piece yourself out to certain things before you become ineffective if you're doing everything. So that's how I would say, get the ball rolling, stop talking about it, be about it, and put some steps in order. If you have any questions, specifically, not specifically about screen printing, it could be screen printing questions, but any other type of questions that pertains to business, you can always email me. I feel like as blacks, we have contributed vastly to a lot of the things in this country that I feel like we're taking for granted a lot. And we've come from a place and we've come to a place that's not our own, but I feel like we still need to take ownership because we invented a lot of this stuff that's around us. One thing I would say though for African Americans that I see in the business world is a lot of us are so talented at the craft that we do. And no one else can do it like that. However, we allow paper work to keep us or thwart us from doing the things that we should do. Like I said, filling out a SunBiz account is almost nothing, but a lot of times we won't do that stuff because it's that, oh, that's too much. I'm confused. I don't understand. Go to LegalZoom.com and get them to do it for you. But don't let that stand in the way, because we have to have something more than our last name or our physical attributes to pass on to our children. Right now, sometimes I take my son into my workshop with me. He's 3 years old. He knows Mommy prints t-shirts, but I let him get up there and I let him, push the squeegee across the screen just to get a feel for it. I'm not trying to false project my passions off on him. He probably won't grow up and want to print t-shirts, but at least he will see that Mommy is running a business and using that business to provide for the family, and have some type of ownership to give him and his little sister. And also, that actually goes into my 5-year plan off in the future. My goal is to get more young minorities involved in screen printing. So I'm looking to get started some screen printing training camps for younger youth, teaching them about it. If you want to go on and have a screen printing business later on, I will help you. If you don't, you still have a trade or a skill under your belt that you can put to good use at some time in your life if you want to, and can teach someone else. One last thing I have to say to the viewers would be this statement that I've been hearing more recently often, which is if you think you can or if you think you can't, either way you're right. Which means that our thoughts are so positively strong that our thoughts become things. So however you're thinking is going to eventually manifest into reality. So you need to change your thinking and think on the things that you can do and go out and pursue it. And whatever your dream may be, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a baby. A baby takes 9 months to grow, at least. Some babies take longer, depending on the animal species or whatever. But if this dream is really your passion, if this is really your baby, take those small steps. It's going to go through different phases to make sure that this baby comes out healthy and that you give it the care and the attention that it needs.
To learn more about Deonjala Williams and D's Sweet Teas, visit www.dssweetteas.com.